Hi guys, today we are covering the cost of college. So this is one thing that we all need to look into, rather if we're planning to attend college or not. This will give you an idea of what it costs. So it says estimating the cost of college education should take into consideration your expenses as well as the source of financial aid that are available to help pay for these educational expenses. So we're going to talk about both expenses and financial aid so that we can understand the two. So, expenses is the things that you have to pay for that you're responsible to pay for. Think of going to Stripes and picking up a bag of chips, a piece of candy, and something to drink. Each one of those total different things is a separate expense. The chips is an expense, the candy is an expense, and something to drink is an expense. So you have three different expenses and you have to pay for all of them. Same thing for college. So your first expense is tuition and fees. Tuition is the classes or courses that you take. So you have to pay for those. And fees are like if you're taking a lab or something like that, sometimes you'll have some special fees that you have to pay. So that's all things that go with the classes and courses. After that, you have room and board. So if you're going to college that is not close to home or you do not know anyone that live there, you will need to get a dorm, which is your housing, and then your boarding is you can eat at the cafeteria that's on campus, and you will purchase a meal plan or your food. So that's considered your room and board. The dorm that you sleep in, as well as the cafeteria where you eat, that's your housing and your meal plan. Next, we have books and supplies. So to prepare for your classes, you need to purchase your textbooks. And then sometimes you'll need other materials, which is considered your supplies. Maybe you need to purchase a laptop, your pencils, your notebooks, whatever else you need to purchase to be successful in that class. The last expense is transportation and other. So if you have a vehicle, maybe your parents are making you pay the insurance. Maybe you just need to put gas in the car. Maybe you don't have a vehicle and you need to take a bus or some kind of other public transportation. Your entertainment, if you want to go out or go to the movies or anything like that, that is under there. And if you want to eat out because you're tired of the food in the cafeteria that's on a meal plan, sometimes you just want to go to McDonald's or somewhere. So that's eating out, and you need to do your laundry. So those are other different things that we consider transportation, other. Sometimes you'll see it as miscellaneous. Sometimes you'll see it as personal expenses. So any of those words is what we would use for that last category. Next, we have financial aid. And financial aid is how are you planning to pay for college? There's plenty of different ways, and we're going to discuss the top few that we will see at this point. So, the first one we have scholarships. Scholarships is money that is given to you based on talents, grades, or other circumstances. So, as we know, UIL events is what will qualify for a scholarship, like sports, band, cheerleading, choir. You can get a scholarship for any of those things. Your grades, if you have a certain grade point average or GPA, you can get a scholarship. And then other circumstances. So, you can get scholarships based off of your ethnicity. You can get scholarships based off of the career field that you're going into. Um, you can get scholarships based off of religion. It's a ton of different things that you can get scholarships for. You just have to search for them and apply for them, and then you can be provided those scholarships. Next, we have grants, and grants are money given to you, usually based on a student's financial need. So if you have taken AVID, then you have probably heard of the FAFSA, and it is a recommendation that all students fill out the FAFSA because it will find grants that you could possibly qualify for. And you can also search for other grants, like the state could give grants or the school can give grants. So you can search for other grants to receive money to pay for college. Next, we have work study. And work study is when you basically work on campus to earn money. You can work in any of the office buildings, you can work in a gift shop or any different places. And it's just like a job. You go to work every day and you earn money, and that helps you pay for college. Last but certainly not least, there is loans. And loans, of course, is everyone's last option, or at least they should be your last option, because loans is money that you borrow. And if you borrow money from someone like Miss Powell, you have to pay her back. You pay me $5, you borrow $5, I'll pay you back. You're gonna pay me back $5. And if you borrow $5 and you take a little too long, you might have to pay me back $10 because the interest will start growing. So you don't want really loans because you have to pay that money back. And then it starts growing interest, which we just learned about, simple and compound interest. And you could end up paying back a lot more money than you initially borrowed. Okay. So now let's talk about the difference between loans and the other forms of financial aid listed here. I don't know if you just paid attention, but the only one I told you that you have to pay back is loans. So that's the biggest difference. Loans must be paid back, must be repaid. And the others are basically free money. You don't have to pay those back. You earned them, you received them, you applied for them. This is free money. You don't pay those people back. That's money that is gifts, basically. The others are gifts. You don't pay those back. Okay, so to go through this, remember I said when you go to the store, the 3 things that you purchase, you must add them up. So the things that you add up, because you have to pay the college for, are these things: tuition and fees, room and board, books and supplies, transportation, other miscellaneous personal expenses. Those you have to pay, add all of those up, and that's the amount that you have to pay the college, either by semester or by year or something like that. Next, we have things you subtract because it's gifts or you earned it. So once you add up all the money that you're gonna that you have to pay to the college, then you're gonna subtract the next few things out. So any scholarships that you have, subtract that from your total that you owe the school, because you don't have to pay that. Grants, subtract that out. Work study, subtract that out. And family contributions, subtract that out. Whatever your balance is after you have subtracted all of your free money out, then you are going to either develop a plan to save and earn that money or take out a loan. But remember, loans is your last option. So let's do some practice on how to find out how much you as a person owe the school after you have signed up for all of your classes and done different things. Okay. So it says Ms. Nowie has a list of the estimated costs for each semester to attend 3 different universities. It says 4-year universities, but this is basically just universities. What is the total estimate cost to attend college for the number of years offered? So the reason I just say universities is because you do have some schools that's 4 years, and you have some schools that's 2 years, which is a community college. So we have a 4-year public university, a 4-year private university, and then a 2-year community college, just like regular school. You can go to public school or you can go to private school. So that's the difference. And then you have a community college. So the first thing you're going to do is identify how much it costs to go for 1 year. And remember, I told you all of these things: tuition and fees, room and board, books and supplies, and miscellaneous expenses are things that you're going to add up, because you must pay the school all of those totals. So I'm pulling up a calculator. For this 4-year public school, the tuition and fees is $8,500. Plus you have to pay for your room and board, which is $6,700. Plus you have to pay for your books and supplies, which is $1,250. Plus you have to pay for your miscellaneous expenses, which is $700. And your total for 1 year, after you add all of those numbers up, is going to be $17,150. That's for 1 year of college, $17,150. 1 year of college at a public university. A public university is normally 4 years so that you can earn your bachelor's degree. So you're going to take that 17,150 and multiply it by 4, because that's how many years it is to get your degree. So I'm gonna times it by 4, and I have 68,600. So to get your bachelor's degree from a public university is $68,600. Okay. Next, we have a 4-year private university. So these prices, as you can see, is a little more expensive, but with scholarships, it can be worth it. For tuition and fees, we're paying $25,100 plus room and board, which is $8,000, plus books and supplies, which is $1,300, plus miscellaneous expenses, which is $750. My total for 1 year at a private university would be $35,150. $35,150. Again, like the public university, a private university is 4 years. So to multiply that by 4, I'm going to do times 4, and it is 140,600. A lot of money, a lot of money go with scholarships and grants and other forms of ways to pay for it. It is doable. Lastly, we have a 2-year community college, and a 2-year community college will leave you, you will leave there with an associate's degree, and you will be halfway to receiving your bachelor's degree. Excuse me. So we're going to go ahead and add up our totals to see how much it will be for 1 year and in 2 years. So our tuition and fees is $4,400 plus our room and board, which is $5,000, plus our books and supplies, which is $1,100, plus our miscellaneous expenses, which is $800. Our total for 1 year is $11,300. And of course, to get your associates, you need to go for 2 years. So we're going to multiply that by 2. And we got 22,600. So while this is not the end all be all, because it's only 22,600, I mean, it's only 2 years, it is the cheapest, but you can start here and then transfer to one of the other schools, which will make your education a lot less expensive. Because as you can see, for 1 year, this one has the best price. But again, this is without scholarships or anything else. This is just a flat rate. So once you add or you bring in your scholarships, your grants, your work study, and family contributions, school will be a lot more reasonable. Let's flip it over to go through the questions. As always, these questions are very similar to the questions that you're going to see on the test. So make sure you're paying close attention and understanding so that when you see these questions on the test, you will know how to answer them. So question number 1 says, Marian has a list of the estimated costs for each semester to attend a 4-year university. All right, so remember, a semester is half of a year. That's half a year. Okay, and you normally pay for college for a full year. It says to attend a 4-year university. What is the total estimated cost to attend college for 4 years? So we're trying to see how much it costs for 4 years. This is how much school costs for one semester, which is a half a year. So first, let's see how much it is for a half a semester. I'm sorry, for a semester. So tuition and fees is $28.65. I'm going to add the $28.65 plus the room and board of $3,100 plus the books and supplies of $600 plus the personal expenses of $850. So I'm going to go ahead and write my steps over here. Step 1 is to add those totals. So $28.65 plus $3,100 plus 600 plus 850 is 74.15. And again, this is per semester. Now that we know how much it is for one semester, we are now going to find out how much it is for 1 year. And remember, there's 2 semesters in a year. So I'm going to multiply this times 2. And I got 14,830. So this is per year. And then the question is asking, what is the total cost estimated to attend college for 4 years? So now I need to know how much it is for 4 years. So I'm going to multiply this by 4. And I have 59,320. And this is for 4 years. Okay. So the list tells you how much it is for a semester. So first I found out how much it was per semester. There's 2 semesters in a year. So from August to Christmas is 1 semester, and then January to May is the 2nd semester. So for 2 semesters, which is make a full year, it's that price. And then I needed to know how much for 4 years. So then I multiplied by 4 and got that. Oh, sorry. Gotta move this over here. And I'm gonna move this over here. All right, question number 2. Question number 2 says Kevin is planning to attend a private university after he graduates from high school in 3 years. He is devising a plan to save money each month to help with the expenses of attending a university. The cost of attending a private university for 1 year is $32,800. His family has promised to contribute $15,300 each year he is in school. What is the minimum amount of money Kevin must contribute to his savings per month for the next 3 years to have enough money to pay for his first year of tuition? So the question is always the most important thing so that you don't get confused and like, is he paying for 3 years? Is he paying for 1 year? What is he paying for? Go ahead and identify the question first, and you can simply underline it if you don't have a highlighter. So here's the question, and let me break down what he is asking. It says, what is the minimum amount of money he must contribute to his savings per month for the next 3 years? So he's saving monthly for the next 3 years. So first, let's determine how many months do he have to save. There is 12 months in a year, and he's saving for 3 years. So I'm going to multiply that, and I got 36. So he has 36 months to get this money. 36 months to get this money, to have enough money for his first year. And we only want to know his first year. So we're only trying to solve for 1 year. So the university charges 32,800. 1 year is 32,800. His family is giving him, so he don't need to pay that, 15,300. So we're going to subtract those totals. So the total amount that he need to save for is 17,500. He need to save 17,500 over 36 months. So to find out how much he need to save per month, I'm going to take the total that he needs to save and the amount of months he have and divide them by each other. According to this, he needs to save roughly $486 per month. Making sure my math is correct. 'Cause- Yep. So he would need to save 486.11 per month in order to have enough money by the time he graduates. Now, this is one of those cases where a loan would be reasonable because if he have 3 more years, that means he has 10th, 11th, and 12th grade. 10th, 11th, and 12th, unless you're working a full-time job and a part-time job and you're saving your entire check, it's going to be kind of hard for a high school student to save almost $500 a month. So maybe by the time it's time for him to go to school, he have 10,000 of this saved because he's been saving every month. And the last 7,500 he need to take a loan out for. But that's another thing, and that's not on topic. But this is what the answer choice would be if you were looking for an answer. Okay. And then the last question says the cost of tuition at the college that Jeannie wants to attend is 16,500 per year. Jeannie's family will pay 60% of the tuition cost each year, cost, not coast, each year. Jeannie has 2 years to save enough money to attend her first year of college. What is the minimum amount that she should save each month in order to have enough money to attend her first year of college? So again, the first thing I'm going to do is identify the question. What is the minimum amount that she needs to save each month for her first year? She's only trying to pay for her first year. So 1 year. She has 2 years to save and she's saving monthly. So the first thing I need to see is how many months do she have to save? So 12 times 2 is 24. She has 24 months to save. And now let's see how much money do she need to save for? So the college is 16,500 and her family is going to pay 60% or 0.60. Let me go ahead and multiply that. So 16,500 times 0.60 is 9,900. This is how much her family is contributing. So 9,900 is coming from family. So now let's see how much she need to pay. We're going to take this 16,500, which is the total amount the college cost, and subtract what the family is giving her because she already have that in the bank basically. So 16,500 minus the 9,900 that parents are given, and she needs to pay 6,600. Okay. She has 24 months to save the money for this. So we're going to take the 6,600 and divide it by the 24 months. Okay. 6,600 divided by 24. And the answer is 275. So she will need to save $275 per month. Okay. So this concept is not hard at all. It's a lot of small steps that you must take to complete it. But if you take your time and follow these steps, when it's time for you to take the test, you will get these 3 questions correct.